The last day of the year, snow fell. A little girl walked the streets. She was cold, very cold. Her tiny bare feet were blue with cold. She had slippers once, but they were lost. Too big, they slipped off her feet as she ran. Now the cold seeped through her thin clothes. She held matches, tiny flickering hopes for warmth. Matches, matches, she cried, her voice a whisper lost in the wind. No one stopped, no one heard. The little girl felt a knot in her stomach. Hunger gnawed at her insides. She hadn't sold any matches all day. Fear gripped her heart. Her father would be angry. He would yell. Maybe even worse. She found a corner, sheltered from the wind. Maybe, just maybe, someone would buy matches here. Each unsold match was a lost chance. A chance for warmth. A chance for food. A chance for a moment without fear. One match. She struck it against the wall. A small flame flickered. Warmth spread through her. In the flame she saw a vision, a warm stove. Its fire blazed invitingly. She stretched out her hands. The flame died. The stove vanished. Cold seeped back in. The little girl shivered. But the memory of warmth lingered, a tiny spark of hope in the bitter cold. Another match. Another flicker of hope. This time a table appeared, laden with food, a roasted goose, its skin glistening. The aroma filled the air. She could almost taste it. But the flame died. The feast vanished. Only the cold, hard reality remained. The little girl huddled closer to the wall. Each match offered a glimpse of warmth and joy, but the darkness always returned, colder and more unbearable each time. Section 5. A glimpse of family. One match left. She hesitated. One last flicker of warmth. One last beautiful dream. She struck the match. This time her grandmother appeared, her kind eyes filled with love. "Grandmother," she cried. How she longed for her touch, her gentle voice. For a moment the cold was forgotten. Section 6. Soaring above the city. "Take me with you," she whispered to her grandmother. The flame flickered, threatening to die. Her grandmother smiled. She reached out, taking the little girl's hand. Together, they rose above the city. The cold streets below seemed far away. They flew towards a light, brighter than all the stars. Pain and hunger were forgotten. Only joy remained. Section 7. The morning light. Morning came. The snow had stopped. The city slowly awoke. In the alley, huddled against the wall, sat the little girl. Her face was peaceful. A smile touched her lips. Empty matchboxes lay scattered around her. The last match had burned out long ago, but the little girl was no longer cold. People passed by, they saw the little girl, they saw the matches, they shook their heads. Frozen to death, they whispered. Such a shame, trying to keep warm with those matches. They didn't understand, they didn't see the visions, they didn't feel the warmth, the joy, the love. The Little Match Girl's story is a story of sorrow, of poverty, of indifference. But it is also a story of hope, of love, of the power of imagination to provide solace in the darkest of times. It reminds us to look beyond the surface, to offer kindness to those in need, to see the humanity in everyone. Humanity in Hans Christian Andersen's tale has resonated for generations. It reminds us that even in suffering there is beauty. The little match girl's dreams, though fleeting, gave her comfort. They remind us of the power of hope, even in the face of despair. Her story is a call to action, a plea for compassion and understanding, a reminder that we all have a responsibility to care for one another. The little match girl may have died alone on that cold night, but her story continues to warm hearts. It teaches us to find hope in unexpected places, to cherish the small joys, to never lose sight of our shared humanity. Let us honor her memory by spreading warmth and kindness wherever we go. Let us strive to create a world where no one has to face the cold alone.